ETH is in a quagmire of what is it? Why do I need it? Why is it unique? And I just think right now there's limits to how much this narrative is going to be able to grow with the market cap. I think Bitcoin, the narrative is so simple. You can call it digital gold, but it's a fixed supply money. People love this idea of a fixed supply money. That narrative completely scales. It can completely scale up to 10 trillion, even $100 trillion market cap. Whereas Ethereum's new narrative du jour is not going to scale.
Recently, the Securities and Exchange Commission approved the Ethereum ETFs. This sudden approval has excited many investors about the possibility of Ethereum's value increasing significantly. However, Fred Krueger, a veteran entrepreneur and mathematician, doubts that Ethereum's value will surge anytime soon. While many hope Ethereum will become the next Bitcoin, Krueger argues this is impossible. According to him, just by examining each asset's charts and narratives, the reasons are clear. We will now show you more clips of Fred Krueger as he presents the mathematical and inherent proof of what he anticipates will happen to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Please take some time to like this video and subscribe to the channel to show your support. Thanks and enjoy.
It's really going to survive. And let's just take a real quick look, shall we, at the, I'd like to take a really quick look at the ETH BTC cross. And you can sort of see where we are on this thing. So, in 2017, we had this ICO mania that took us all the way from 0.01 to 0.11. So it 10x versus Bitcoin here, really outperformed Bitcoin. And then that really completely collapsed versus Bitcoin. And then we have this rise of DeFi, right, that came all the way up here and brought it all the way back to almost 0.8, right? And then once the DeFi narrative sort of petered out in 2022, now we went to the proof of stake model and this ultrasound money thing, which is not working, right? So you can see basically the cross that just not working. And right here, we're having this little blip of, oh, we've just got an ETF, right? And now we're a tokenization platform. So they're trying to pull another one of these things. I don't think it's going to work. I think this thing just keeps on going down. But we may see a glimmer of hope here. Ethereum, came out and it sort of was like, we're going to build programmable money on Bitcoin. That was sort of the original idea. Then it was like, well, we're not going to do it on Bitcoin because Bitcoin's too slow. So we're going to do it. We're going to make our own blockchain that's going to be fully programmable. It's going to have all these features. And that sort of morphed into this idea of we're going to be the world computer, right? And people are like, well, world computer, that sounds valuable. I want a piece of that world computer. How many coins are there in the world computer? Don't worry, they're going to be making all these new coins. And don't worry, the team's got a whole bunch of these coins. But this is the future. It's super complicated, but you can't possibly understand, but it's the future. So that's sort of the argument for Ethereum in the old days. And then that never really worked in terms of, it never really caught on. So up until 2017. And at that point, we had these tokens on Ethereum, ERC20s. And these things actually really did hit a product market fit because now everybody could print their own tokens on Ethereum. And we had all these ICOs happen on Ethereum, and in theory it's a great idea. Like, it could democratize capital raising, so everybody could create a token for their project and everything. Now, in practice, it didn't end up that great because most of these tokens are worthless, but most startups are worthless also. So, you don't want to say we're going to have a law against startups because most startups fail. No. But that was the original idea of in 2017 of Ethereum is it's this platform on which you can create your own token. Now that sort of got criminalized in 2018 with the crackdown on ICOs. And so the shift of Ethereum became DeFi, right? So in 2019, it's like, well, we're the platform for DeFi. We're going to be kind of banks without banks, right? And you had this sort of site Bankless that came on, and everybody's like, DeFi is the future. The whole point of Ethereum is that you can have a stable coin like Make or Die, and then you can trade the stable coin for ETH, and you can trade it for other coins, and now we have this decentralized finance world. Well, that worked right up until about 2022 when, FTX blew up and Celsius blew up. And then everybody was like, well, we really want to stay very far away from this decentralized finance thing. Let's pivot into ultrasound money. And so that became the new narrative for Bitcoin for a while. And the idea was now we've moved to proof of stake, and what we're going to do is we're going to basically charge these exorbitant fees and use these exorbitant fees to buy back our own tokens. And as a result of this buyback, we can actually have ETH be deflationary, right? That worked. That worked for a while. People are like, well, that's kind of cool. It's deflationary, and Bitcoin still is inflationary, so that's bad. Deflation is better than inflationary. Maybe I should buy ETH. If anybody looked more closely, they realized that was not a very good argument, because even though it was, in theory, it could be deflationary, if the demand for ETH was not sufficient, then the mechanism for this, burn was not sufficient to counteract the issuance of new ETH. And lo and behold, that's where we are now today. ETH is now inflationary, not deflationary. So this sort of ultrasound money argument really went out the window. ETH is now in search of a new narrative. And this new narrative that people are latching onto is that it is ETH is a tokenization platform. And they stole this idea from Larry Fink, because when Larry Fink was interviewed on...
In other news, ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood believes cryptocurrency has become a significant issue in US elections. This led to the sudden and unexpected approval of key documents for proposed Ethereum ETFs. At Consensus 2024, Wood mentioned that before the approval, no one expected it to happen, and the SEC had not been asking any questions. She attributed the shift in sentiment to the passing of the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act and former President Trump's openness to accepting campaign donations in crypto. Wood also noted that while a Solana ETF might be approved, meme coin-focused funds are unlikely to gain acceptance from major brokerage firms. Despite the progress with Ethereum ETFs, Wood remained strongly bullish on Bitcoin, predicting its price could reach $1.5 million by 2030. When asked if she preferred Bitcoin or Ethereum, she unequivocally chose Bitcoin, citing its unique position as a global monetary system, technology, and new asset class. With that, here are more clips of Fred Krueger.
ETH now has another problem, which is, whatever the narrative is, you now have a lot of competition. So, you have competition from the likes of Avalanche, Near, on the DeFi side. Or Polygon, where the things are happening faster and cheaper, they're more efficient, they tend to work better. And then you have competition from the likes of Solana on the NFT side. So you just got, ETH is in a quagmire of what is it? Why do I need it? Why is it unique? And I just think right now, there's limits to how much this narrative is going to be able to grow with the market cap. I think Bitcoin, the narrative is so simple. You can call it digital gold, but it's a fixed supply money. People love this idea of a fixed supply money. Let's talk a little bit about the narratives of Bitcoin, because there's this whole question is Bitcoin a medium of exchange? Is it a store of value? I don't even think that's the correct way to think about Bitcoin. The real narrative of Bitcoin is it's a fixed supply money that is fairly distributed. That's really the narrative, and that's really been the narrative since the very beginning. If you go back to 2009, when Bitcoin was first introduced and launched, you would go to the Bitcoin website and it said, hey, there's this fixed currency. You can go mine some of this currency on your computer. And at that time, you could literally mine Bitcoin on your computer. And someday it'll be worth something. And you can send this Bitcoin to other people. So that really was the genesis argument of Bitcoin, that it's a fixed supply and you can send it peer-to-peer. That's it. Is that any different from where it is now? No, it's the same narrative, right? We're in a fixed supply. We have 21 million of this thing. That's the max supply. The creation of these Bitcoins is programmatic, more or less every 10 minutes. And you can send them to people. Now, the cost of sending them to other people has varied between, for a couple pennies initially, to, right now, $1 or so to send a Bitcoin. It's been as high as $20, $30. But the essence of Bitcoin is the 21 million. The essence of Bitcoin is the fixed supply that, as Jason Williams says, it's money that nobody can fuck with. And that's it. It's a very simple argument. And I think Wall Street gets that argument, right? That argument is, we got this new decentralized money. There's only 21 million of it. If you get, 21,000 of it, you have, you have 1,000th of the world's supply of Bitcoin. And a fund manager can say, wait a second, if I buy 21,000, I have 10 basis points of the world's supply of Bitcoin forever, and that's super appealing. That's the reason why Michael Saylor bought into it. That's the reason why all these funds are buying into it. It's a very simple, easy to communicate message.
According to Krueger, Bitcoin's narrative is simple and clear. It is a limited supply of digital currency that cannot be inflated, making it appealing to investors seeking protection against inflation, a common concern in traditional finance. Meanwhile, Krueger argues that Ethereum's narrative is a work in progress. It began as a programmable money platform, and then shifted gears to focus on initial coin offerings, decentralized finance, and, most recently, ultrasound money, a term used for deflationary currencies. According to Krueger, these narratives haven't quite hit the mark, and Ethereum is still searching for the perfect fit. Additionally, Krueger believes that Ethereum faces high competition from faster, cheaper, and more efficient blockchain platforms like Avalanche, Near, Polygon, and Solana. But despite his reservations, Krueger acknowledges the possibility of a dramatic price increase for Ethereum. A surge in institutional investment could still fuel its value, regardless of the current narrative. With all of this said, how do you think these developments will impact Ethereum in the short term and in the long term? Share your thoughts in the comments section. If you found today's video informative and would like more insights and updates on cryptocurrency and global finance, please consider liking the video, subscribing to our channel, and enabling post notifications. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll uncover more about the fascinating developments in the crypto space. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep investing wisely. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.